All right, welcome back to another episode of Deep Within the Man Cave. Hope you guys had a good week and you guys are staying safe. And you're taking care of yourselves. So tonight I don't have a specific topic that I wanted to talk about. I just gonna tell you how I've been feeling the last little while. And sort of how things have changed and things I've learned myself. So the last few weeks have been pretty rough for myself. I've been pretty down, struggling a bit. Really missing my kids when they're not here. That's been really hard for me. And I've been feeling bad for them. And what I mean by that is they didn't ask for any of this to happen. They didn't ask for their parents to get separated. They didn't ask for their mother to go move somewhere else. They didn't ask to have to spend half the time with me and half the time with her. They didn't want that. They want to spend all the time with both of us. And that's, that's fair. Why should they have to go through this? So I myself have gone through a divorce. I was a little bit older than my oldest son right now, so I know what he's dealing with. Even if he's not willing to say anything to me yet, I know what he's dealing with. I know what he's going through, and it's been really bothering me lately. I'm really angry. I'm very frustrated. I am brokenhearted. I still am, dealing with the fallout of everything. And it's been hard this last couple of weeks. I've been, it's hard to think you have something that you really don't have. And you think you have somebody you can count on, but you don't. But in that sense of the line, is you do have somebody to count on. You have yourself. And the easiest way, and it's not easy, but the easiest way to deal with things and stuff like that is and it's kind of sad but the reality is, if you don't have any expectations of anybody but yourself, then when somebody disappoints you, you never really had an expectation of them not. So I've learned that I have to do that in all situations, and because then if you get your hopes up of an expectation of what you think may happen or whatever, and it doesn't happen, and you maybe know in the back of your head, but you don't want to admit it, that you know it's not going to happen or something like that, it's just that much harder to deal with. So yeah, I've been struggling. I haven't been really doing much. Been sleeping a lot more than I should. And I realize this, and I'm very aware of it. So I'm, doing things that I need to take care of myself so that I can be better for my kids. So along these things, I've listening to mini podcasts here and there, and I catch little tidbits of information on YouTube and whatever. So I know I've said this myself a couple times, but I've sort of tried it in different ways this time, and I seem to get like this last today has been an awesome day. Like even from Saturday afternoon, it sort of started right around dinner time. Saturday afternoon, my kids went to their moms. So Saturday, or when my boys go to their moms, that is a real hard day. And I usually struggle, so I try to keep myself busy. But I've sort of slacked off on that part where I have a ton of stuff I need to get done. But you know what? It's easier to feel sorry for myself and lay on the couch and have a nap, watch TV, eat crappy food, and that. But I listened to a podcast or part of a podcast, and I don't even know which one it was because I just caught a part of it that someone was talking about, and it had mentioned something about creating what you want. Sort of, you have to create it before you get it, kind of deal. Meaning, they had used the reference of if you are dating and you're looking for a girlfriend or a future wife or whatever, and everyone has an idea of what they want and what they're not going to settle. And they said, write it down. And then you sort of have to think as if the person that you want to attract, what do you think that they're going to look for and whatever. And you sort of have to become that person. So it got me thinking a little bit, and it's just like, yeah, okay, I get that. And it works sort of in anything, right? It works relationships, it works in career opportunities, it works in just attracting opportunities and stuff like that. Like, opportunities are around us all the time, but we have to look for them, and sometimes they are very hard to see. Or sometimes we see them, but they're not the opportunity that we want, so we tend to ignore it. Or we don't think that this opportunity is going to work. So I took an opportunity about 3 weeks ago, to get back in school. The first go at it didn't work, and there was scheduling conflicts, and there was the person I ended up talking to, who was supposed to be my student go-to for online, ended up quitting and not telling anybody. So I ended up missing half of the stuff that I was supposed to get, and it was just a big gong show, and it caused me so much stress and almost to a panic that I said, screw it, I can't do it at this time. But finally got it all figured out, and turns out that, yeah, great. The schedule is awesome. It's what I can handle at the time. I still get everything done in the same amount of time, but it's just that much easier. I saw it as an opportunity, and that opportunity ended up helping me massively with other stresses. So financially, it's been rough. It's been rough for a lot of people, and now that I'm left to myself to pay all the bills for the house, when you're used to having a second income, you tend not to, you tend to take it for granted when you have two incomes. And so yeah, it's been a struggle. But through this new person that I talked to at school, I was able to get grants and all this stuff, and it took care of a lot of stuff. Like today, I spent a ton of money, but it was all money that I was responsible for previously that I couldn't, whatever, and this grant was able to take care of it. And now I can breathe. It's, the opportunities, certain opportunities lead into other opportunities. And stuff like that. Like, I didn't even know I was qualified for this kind of thing. But yeah, and now I don't have the financial stress anymore, or as bad. So, yeah, would I have loved to kept this money and spend it on other things? Of course. Maybe a family trip with my kids, whatever. But it's no good when you don't take care of the stuff you have to take care of first, and then let the fun stuff come after. But you have to allow yourself to take time for you, take care of yourself, because if it's go, 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 and you forget about yourself, and that, you're just gonna grow resent and contempt and all that stuff, and you're just gonna burn out so fast. And that's sort of what happened in the last couple weeks, is I was catching myself being burnt out. So I reset my priorities, or some of them, moved some to the back burner that weren't necessarily that important for this time. It's not that they're not important to me, but they don't move me ahead any. They're more of a want than a need. So you have to prioritize your wants and your needs, take care of the stuff that needs to be taken care of. You're accountable for that stuff, and I mean, the stress of this stuff is insane. Like, if you're putting off stuff, and this is one of the things that I learned in this podcast, was that if you know something in the back of your mind that is affecting you, or possibly you don't know about it, it's in your subconscious or whatever, that with it looming in the back of your mind, you're sort of, it's like you're always thinking of it, but you're not. You know it's there, and you try to avoid it, and you try to avoid it, but when you try to avoid it and you try to distract yourself, yeah, you can distract yourself one or two times, but then it's like the addiction. It gets more and more and more, and nothing works. And then you get deeper and deeper and deeper, and you can cause yourself to have migraines. You can cause yourself to have neck pain, back pain, and that's just from the stress of what you're avoiding. It also amplifies, like, if you have an injury or something like that. It can immensely multiply the pain and suffering that you have of this injury, because there's just that much more stress piled on. Plus now you're physically hurt, and when you're physically hurt, that affects your mental well-being as well, and that just adds to it. And you can actually prolong the pain. You can make the pain worse and stuff like that, and it's all due to your subconscious, and you're telling yourself you're not worth it, oh, I'll do it later, or I don't deserve to have this, or yeah, well, no one likes me, and all this stuff. And we all tell ourselves that, and it's all bullshit. And I'm learning that, and I've learned things the hard way a lot, but I'm also learning that if you sit down and you tackle shit, you write it down. Some of the things that need to get done that you put off take 5, 10, 15 minutes, and you've put them off for 6 months, 7 months, years. Like, it is honestly that simple. So another technique I also learned, and I've also started doing this again. I lapsed and I stopped. But this one went into a little more detail, is writing stuff down. So every night before I go to bed, I write my gratitudes. I've been doing it for months and months, and that's something that I won't stop. It's just something that I do no matter how tired I am before I go to bed. I think of what I'm grateful for that day. And one of the things I also learned, back to this, was getting yourself a notepad. Small little notepad. Cheap at the dollar store. Get a black one with a black cover, and get a white one with a white cover. Now, in the black one, you write down the negative things that you think about yourself. You think you're too fat, you're not worth it, all this stuff. If you think of something, write it down. Whatever. But in the white one, you think of all the positive things. Whether you feel that it's true or not at that certain time, write it down. And you keep writing down stuff like, yeah, today we played baseball and, I hit 3 home runs. I carried the team to the championship. Whatever. I'm an awesome baseball player. Write it down. Write it down. And look at it. Look at it weekly, daily. And look at it. And pretty soon, this is how you train your mind to get the negative thoughts out of your subconscious and put the positive in there. They went along and talked about positive affirmations and how you should take 5 minutes in the morning and start your day off with positive affirmations. I've heard a lot of things that works. I haven't tried it. Maybe I will. But yeah, I guess this one, you attract, I guess the things that I want to point out in this was, it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel low and hurt and stuff like that. But those are your feelings and you need to acknowledge them. Don't bury them, but don't dwell on them. And that's what I did, and it gets worse and harder and harder. So acknowledge that they're there. Move forward, even if it's one tiny baby step at a time. Just move forward. And you know what? There'll be days when you take 1 step forward and 3 steps back. But don't quit. Keep moving forward. And you will eventually get there. It takes different amount of time for different people because everyone's dealing with different things. Write it down. Write down the negative things that you tell yourself. Write down the positive things that you know you should be telling yourself. Write down the positive things that happen in a day. Write down your daily gratitudes. Take chances. Look at opportunities, because one opportunity will spring another opportunity, aka another opportunity. Yeah, sometimes it's really hard to look positive when things are real bad, but it will pass. You just gotta push through. The next day will be better. And write a list of all the stuff that you need to do. If you have to write it down as a daily list, some people really like that. Last night I knew there was a whole bunch of stuff that I had to get done today, and I didn't want to waste a day like I wasted my Saturday on the couch, so I wrote a bunch of stuff done, and I even assigned times when I would do it, right? Like from 10 to 10:30 I was walking the dog. 10:30 to 11 I had to cut a few pieces of wood for a project I'm working on right now. Well, I got up half an hour later than I said I was going to get up, but because some of these things don't take that long, I was done almost everything by 11. And then I just had to go out and, do some paperwork and stuff like that. And I got more done today than I have in like a week almost, it seems like. And there's still plenty of day left today, and I still have one specific thing that I'm going to do tonight. So yeah, write it down. Set times on it. If you don't get it done, don't be so hard on yourself. But you'd be surprised that some of these things that you think are going to take forever, only take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So reach out if you need help. Talk to your friends. Check in on your friends. You never know what they're going through. Remember to take time for yourself. Do something for yourself that you like. And that could be sitting in the sun reading a book, going for a walk in nature. Like, get outside. Nature helps you balance your thoughts and stuff like that. And yeah, just take care of yourself and check in with your friends and your family. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below, or again, if you're not comfortable with that, deepwithinmancave@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. I'll get back to you. Please share this, subscribe, and until next week, have a great week and take care of each other. Thank you.